What's up, YouTube? This is Savasligna23, and today I am joined by Zeke, someone who is new to our campaign, and you probably won't be seeing in for a while because of all the recorded stuff before his entry. Hopefully it won't be too long, though, because I'm excited to see exactly what he brings to the table, as far as
Literally.
the PTU campaign goes. Um, we also joined by SideQuesting Wizard, aka Gilbert.
Also known as Toy. Yes.
Yeah, but I call you Gilbert more times than not. And today we are playing Sentinels of the Multiverse.
Yep.
So we will give a brief homage to the rules, as this is Gilbert's first time playing. But for the most part, we'll just be jumping right into most things.
What guy? It's knife. No. America's finest legacy. These are all very comic booky names.
Yep. So this is a game that is kind of memey. It's where everyone is a hero and we're trying to work together. Try and defeat a boss.
Also be aware, most of the time I will still be learning the new decks, as I don't know most of these people. Signis knows the vast majority of them.
Oh no, I don't.
Oh, good. Then we're all on the same page when we try out new things.
Yep.
I don't know. You guys look interesting to me. I'm just really looking at the designs. Though this robot guy right here looks sort of interesting.
So I'm going to be playing the Night Lord Council of Starlight, which is a different character than what Sivas might know about. This is a character that has 3 different characters attached to it.
Interesting.
And you might think that's broken, except you have to consider in this game, turns function where you get to play 1 card and use 1 power. And so that means I can only use the power of 1 of these during a turn.
Well, I also like how the background is like comic book style.
Alright,
So
so
this
what
character-
villain shall we face today? Well, Gilbert's
I haven't.
still picking his person. We can figure out who we're going to be fighting.
Well, let's find out.
Good guy.
Nice thing about this mod is the creators put some information about the villains, the little bags that contain their card.
Yes, as I'm showing off now. For the Bruta. You can see how difficult they are, the way they work, a few unique things about them, like this one's based on endurance counters and AoE, and she counters other counters. The same thing can be done with all of these heroes. If you hold it over the back, you can see how difficult it is to play them, their general damage output, the ranking of how well they're able to tank, heal, support and buff, utility, about how much luck you need in order to use them.
So I think Anathema is a good one for us to start with. It's just a question of which Anathema. It's not super powerful, and it's enough that we'll have a time with it.
Alright.
Let's do
Okay.
the more health one. There were 2 decks, so I'm going to make sure that these 2 decks...
Of this one hero.
Oh, also, Gilbert, you will find that there are, if you notice how when you put your thing over it, it'll show you there's multiple cards to the stack. That's because there's multiple versions of the same hero, which all have different art and stuff. So, your whole
They have
thing
different
of
art.
different art and powers, which means your whole thing of I don't like the way this person looks. Take a look at their other ones.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing. Wait. Those 3 for the... And, ooh, I like that one. Not so much that. I like this. Cool.
So, I have up right now the basic gameplay turn order of you have the villain turn, do the start of the villain turn, whatever the villain says to do. You play a villain card, which is the top card of the villain deck, and you do whatever it states for that point in time, and then their turn ends. And, of course, any abilities that activate at the end of the turn activate. At our turn, we start our turn, we get to play a card, we get to use a power. Those allow us to do so many different things that, depending upon the hero, could end up seeming really... our turns are very long-winded. Saw that a couple times when we played last time.
Arcane Cadence into Arcane Cadence into Arcane Cadence into Arcane Cadence.
Yep.
It's a fair card.
It's just the way it works. You know?
Yep.
And at the end of a turn, we draw a card, and our turn ends. And it moves on to the next hero in a clockwise motion.
Yep.
And then the environment takes a turn.
Hand. With 4 cards in hand, and as you're going around, you'll use those cards as your resources to try and damage the boss. This boss, kind of an amalgamation. It's called Anathema, and it's going to have a couple of arms, a body, a head, and yeah, it's going to just try to grow and grow until it starts to kill. My character is Starlight.
The good thing is that whenever we kill an arm or a head, it goes under the villain card, meaning that it's gone for good.
As far as we know. The other side could say, take a card from underneath this and put it into play.
But as far as we know, once we get rid of them, they're gone for now, which is definitely a plus.
Yeah, and Anathema has a mechanic where after we defeat so many pieces of him, he flips.
Yes. Or if we reveal enough. So if you're wondering what the H means, as it states here, that if there are H or more cards under Athema, flip the villain character oak card. The H is the number of heroes, meaning the number of players. So once 3 cards go under him, he flips. And those 4 cards are revealed.
What was that?
His 4 body parts are revealed.
Yeah, I'm just waiting till I'm sure that everyone has their decks and their set.
Yep.
Seems like it. And these are just 4 cards that I was setting aside to signify. These are the body parts that we'll have.
Yep.
So that's not a body part. That's a head. That's an arm. Just keep revealing until there's the other arm.
Hello.
Yep.
That's an arm. We already have that.
It says we need 2 arms. 2
Yep.
arms, a body, and a head.
We need the body. So we have the 2 arms already. And I'm just flipping through until we get a body. And there's a body.
There. Alright. Wonderful.
Okay, so I'm back.
Welcome back.
Alright, so you're back. We have set up the villain. Everyone has their decks. And if you have your deck, please draw 4 cards of it.
Okay. Wait, do I put these in my hand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright.
I got.
Shuffle first.
Oh wait, no, I didn't. Shuffle. There we go.
Oh, well, that head's wonderful.
You know, I feel like this is sort of cheating because you can actually see my cards.
Well, we're all on one team, so we should share information. All of us are against this one thing in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what environment do we want?
What environments are there? All of these. St. Simon's Cabin.
Most of them are not super positive for us. They're just kind of, it's just a scale of how bad for us are they.
What do you mean?
So, one thing we're going to want to do when we start playing is we're going to want to get rid of the Knuckle Dagger immediately. I have too many ongoing cards to sit here and have this thing destroying them constantly.
Yeah.
Atlantis. Oh, cool. Wagner, Mars Base, Pike Industrial thing, Rook City, the Dome of Discord, Tomb of Anubis, the Block. The Block. Oh man, that's super comic booky. Time capitalism.
You know, that also sounds kind of like it'd be a place that we would fight some kind of amalgamation like this. Just go fight them on the block.
All right. So we take the block deck. I'll shuffle it up, and it goes into this environment space.
Okay.
So for everybody wondering, I've only played on 2 of these environments.
And one of them I think was homebrew, right?
That was number 3.
Yeah. We've played on a couple of these environments. Not all of them are great for the heroes. Not all of them are horrific for the heroes.
Yeah.
What
oh,
is
geez,
horrific
that
for the
one
hero?
that spawned all the things all the time.
Yeah. What is horrific for the heroes is the fact that the villain of the game. Also, these cards get shuffled back into the villain deck. So, your villain gets to start the game, and if everyone's ready...
Gilbert, why are you flinging these things all over the place?
Because I have infinite of them. What else must I do?
Wait,
Well, first off, you should
patiently.
put your 29 HP on your main counter up here.
Oh yeah. I mean, I haven't played this game before. I really need to run down the rules by me.
That's what I'm about to do.
And that's why I went over the turn order. I went over the turnover order earlier, and we will be going over some of the most basic rules as we go. And unfortunately, first starts the villain.
Yep. So the way the villain turn
Signis,
works
you also
is...
need to put your HP on. Oh wait, no, because yours has HP for your 3 individuals.
Yep.
Okay.
So the way the villain turns works is you have the start of their turn, they play the top card of their deck, and then you have the end of the turn. Effects may happen during any phase, and when they happen, if a card shows up during that phase with an effect that happens during that phase, it happens.
Yeah.
So, in the case of what we currently have, we start the villain turn. He plays the top card of the deck, which is
Anathema here is also wonderful at the fact that we reveal another card at the end of his turn.
Oh, but not to play it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be right back. I need to do some stuff.
Yeah, it's just revealed to see if it's an arm or a head, which is just wonderful.
Yeah. Well, we have a body that showed up. This reduces damage to all villain targets by 2.
Oh, great.
So that's wonderful.
That's a thing.
So that's the play card phase. The beginning phase was passed because there was nothing in it, and now we go to the end of phase. We get to choose to resolve these in any order we wish. So let's start with the Bone Cleaver. Deals the hero target with the lowest HP, H minus 2 melee damage. And if they took damage this way, they can't deal damage. Which happens to be the one of mine that actually deals damage. Then we go to the Enhanced Senses. That does nothing. And we go to Knuckle Dragger. Deals the hero character with the highest HP, H plus 1 melee damage, where H is the number of players. And if they take damage this way, they must destroy one of their ongoing cards. Ongoing is like a type of card of things that keep happening.
Yes. I have one in here that's ongoing, and until it's destroyed by either something like this, or I get rid of it through another card effect, it remains on my board.
Yep. And they're going to go after our wonderful friend in the red because 29 is larger than either 25 or 15, 13, or 11.
Yep. And it is dealing H plus 1, which is 3 plus 1 in this case, so 4 damage. You're set the right way. You can actually deplete his life. And then lastly,
And
we have
then,
the heavy carapace, which does nothing.
no, last we do have Anathema's ability himself. So it's the end of the turn. He reveals the top card here, which is not a head or an arm. You discard it.
Yep.
And then play passes to the heroes.
Yep. Starting clockwise from the environment over here.
Yep. And so then I go first. Start of the hero turn, any things that happen at the start of your turn happen. You have nothing. Play a card. You don't draw first, you play first. And the card I'm going to play is Redshift. So that says I draw a card, and 2 players may play 1 card. So I'm going to say that I get to play a card, and Sivas gets to also play a card. So then you resolve them in order of what happens. I draw a card. We both get to play a card. And my hero has an interesting effect where if there's a constellation next to the center starlight, I get to gain each turn. All of my characters gain 1 health. So I'm going to do just that and put a starlight next to her, which is a bit difficult to actually do in Tabletop Simulator. But she has a constellation. And then I will go to my power phase, where I get to use one of the powers that are on cards that I haven't. I have 3 heroes, so I can choose any one of them to use their power. It's probably bad to use the one on the left. It'd be really bad because I can't do damage with it.
Even if you could deal damage with it, you can't
Another
attack
card to look
this
for
this turn
specific.
because it took damage from the bone cleaver.
Yep.
Which
so
means
it
you can't
cannot
use them
deal
this turn.
Well, I can use them. They just deal no damage. It would let me play a constellation, which I have one in hand, so it's not the worst. Or I can use the center one to search for a specific card, or the one on the right to get 2 constellations into play. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the center one, Starlight of Terra, to discard a constellation to look for an Exodus card, which is this one-shot card that lets me put a constellation into play and play a different card.
You know, you said that... Oh, you deal yourself 2 damage to play 2 constellations. Okay.
Yeah. The one on
So
the
this
far
one's
left I
getting
could play.
constellations back, this one's making use of constellations, and this one's dealing damage because she's able.
It centers around constellations, and I can put them on people to potentially aid them as well. It has a decent bit of tankiness where I have a card in my hand that will let me basically stop myself from taking damage for long periods of time, so long as I can fuel it with constellations.
Yeah. Well, now that you've resolved all card effects and you've resolved all power effects,
We go to the draw phase, where I draw a card, and then the end of the turn.
alright. Which means now it's to Gilbert. Who isn't back, so we'll pause here. Back. Alright, everybody, we're back. And it's currently Gilbert's turn.
Oh, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, you walked away during the introduction turn. So, on your turn, you have the start of your turn where you have any effects that happen. You go to the play, and you have none currently. You go to the play phase where you can play a card. Cards do multiple things. If it says you draw a card, you can draw a card. Playing an additional card lets you play an additional card from your hand. And I believe your character has an interesting power that allows them to manipulate bounty marks.
So,
One thing to note is the villain that is over here can't. If damage would be dealt to it, that damage is reduced by 2 due to the heavy carapace.
Yep. So, like, although you wouldn't be able to deal damage with Eye on the Prize, you would still be able to draw a card and play another card. You just wouldn't deal any damage.
yeah, I think that's what I was going to play.
Alright, so then you draw a card, if you wish. One note with Tabletop Simulator is if you hover over your deck and you press a number, it draws that many cards to your hand. I would not recommend trying it, as you're not trying to draw a card.
Hmm.
Well, as much as I would like to say play that because it'll help you attempt to deal damage later on, since you currently have the most HP, you'd lose it to the Knuckle Dragger.
I would say, I think playing this Sudden Contract might be helpful, as it lets you put a bounty counter on a target, which I believe matters for your character for some of the cards in your.
Put down a bounty card, and he searches for a bounty card, not token, and puts it into play.
Yep.
So if you right-click over your deck, you can go down to the search option, and then just type in bounty, and it'll bring up all your bounty cards. Or, yeah. It's the easy way to be able to find them, and then you just gotta pick which one you want.
So it seems like your character, Sivus, is centered around throwing a bunch of cards at once out.
Yeah, it's just a matter. I mostly meant to be able to heal. I have a little bit of healing, a little bit of countering, and then quick combos that cause me damage as I use them. Well, to save you guys from a long sit down, I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording until we have our decision, and we'll be back.
Are there different
Okay.
Alright, we're back. he has chosen his bounty, and he gets to automatically play it due to this.
Oh, nice.
So you play that card next to a non-hero target.
At the start of your turn, Chrono Ranger regains 1 health.
So when it says non-hero target, that means any of the cards on the villain's board or any of the creatures on the environment board.
I want to play this.
So you can just sit it below for now. When the board gets too big, then we can always condense it.
Yep.
Mm. Okay.
And then you also get to deal 1 target, 1
Oh.
projectile damage, but
Which is mitigated. However, you played 3 cards last turn, correct, Signis? 'Cause
yes.
you have... Well,
Or
the enhanced
2.
senses means that every time a hero card enters play, this card deals that hero character 1 sonic damage.
Oh, I forgot about that. And because of the 3 different heroes I have, so I only played 2 cards. I played the Constellation, I played Redshift.
You also have a card underneath here.
Yeah, that's a Constellation. This Constellation went into the graveyard as a part of a power, so it never came
Okay.
into play.
Okay.
So each of my people have taken a damage. You also have to take a damage because you also played a card.
Yes. And Gilbert takes 3 damage from his 3 cards that he played.
Yep,
Interesting.
that head is a problem.
Yes, it is. And we can't really damage it as it sits.
That heavy carapace is the problem.
So, Gilbert, you need to take 3 damage, because you lose 1 for every card you play.
Okay, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's the problem of his enhanced senses. Now you get to play a power.
There's the power deal.
So, the only power you currently have is the one of your hero. And as it sits, it wouldn't do much for you to use it.
But it never hurts to use. Or rarely hurts to use. Power
Yeah.
and target any one of the other body parts or even the villain, so that this dead or alive bounty also affects them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would suggest selecting the enhanced senses because I'm hoping to destroy that thing soon.
Well,
If I get the right cards, I can do it.
Well, then I guess I'll put it on the enhanced senses.
Alright. Now you draw a card. And your turn's over.
My entire deck.
Alright. So now it comes over to me. And... I guess I won't be able to do it this turn. If only because powers have to come after everything else. So I guess I'll start out with the Iron Retort. taking 1 damage. When it comes into play, I heal 2 and draw a card. And then I'll go ahead and use the power of my hero to discard a card in order to draw 2. Alright, and that's it for my turn.
Setup turns aren't bad. They let you plan for the future.
Yeah. And at least now I have an ongoing that I don't mind losing because of the way that it works.
True.
This cannon thing is really cool.
A little bit. So now we go to the environment turn. The environment turn acts like the villain turn, basically, where you take a card from the top of the deck and you play it. This one is a time-crazed which says at the start of the environment turn, which has already passed, this card deals the non-inmate target with the second highest HP X melee damage, where X is the number of cards in the environment trash.
So I take no damage from it.
Right, because we've already passed the start of the turn, so they don't get to activate this.
Even if they could, there's nothing in their trash.
So then we go to the villain turn. Villain still has nothing at the start of their turn. They play a card. It's a one-shot, Rampage. Anathema deals the hero with the most cards in hand H-1 melee damage. And then, until the start of the next villain turn, increase damage dealt by villain targets by 1 and reduce the damage dealt to them by 1. So, it's really hard to kill.
Since we all have 4, we can pick whoever we want to take the damage. Since I have the most HP, I'll take it this time.
Yes, plus then you don't get punched by the thing that takes away your ongoing.
Actually, I would. I still have 23.
I tried to be positive.
Yeah, it's fine.
So then we go through the villain turn. The Bone Cleaver says, "Hi, I'm going to deal 2 damage to this Starlight." The Enhanced Senses deals no damage to this. With the highest HP, 5 damage.
Ooh.
3 plus 1 from Rampage, which I'm just going to leave here for the time being so that we remember it.
Yeah.
And then that player destroys an ongoing card they control.
Alright. There goes my ongoing.
And the Carapace does nothing, and Anathema tries to see, does it get to eat its own head? And it does, which is really sad, because that means that this Enhanced Senses doesn't go away. And so this Anathema says, "Hey, I found another head. Throw it under me, and when I get 4 of those, bad things happen."
The card shrunk in size. Oh my god.
Yeah, that sometimes happens.
It's fine.
Oh god. The way you fix this is you put this in the art spot and then you make this grow. I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Tabletop Simulator is sometimes weird.
Help.
Alright.
Go ahead. Triple threat.
And that's how the
they
game...
currently have 3 damage reduction right now.
Yep. And that's how the general pace of the game goes. I'll probably pick up play as it goes just because I'm used to it. So the start of my turn, my Terra has a constellation underneath her. So all of my characters gain 1 health.
I like how both of you
Then,
have current ways to regain health, and I'm just sitting here like I'm dying.
yeah, this character does a little bit of help with that. So I'm going to use Exodus, which draws a card. So I take a damage for playing one, and I'm going to put that on this Starlight. Then I'm going to search through my deck for a constellation card and put into play.
Oh, also be aware that you cannot regain more HP than your max HP value.
Correct.
This is something that probably won't come up as an issue, but it is still a very important thing.
Yep. And this constellation I will play underneath the Starlight of Cryos, which, because of the rules of my character, I draw a card. And the other part of Exodus says I may play a card, which is going to be Retreat into the Nebula, which I play onto one of my Starlights, which is going to be the one of Acheron, which reduces all damage dealt to her by 2. She's also the one that's going to take the damage from the Sonic Head, which is reduced by 2, to nothing.
Well, at least one of us no longer takes damage from it.
For the time being. It does cost me constellations every turn to keep this around, which is why I need to cycle through things. And then my power, I'm going to use Terra's ability again to discard this Event Horizon, as it's probably not going to be used soon, to search out another Exodus, which goes to my hand. And I shuffle my library.
I like how they use issue numbers as like the health, as like the means of conveying health.
Yeah, it's very good about holding to like a comic book theme, which is nice. And then I will draw a card and pass the turn.
Okay,
Alright.
so it's my turn now, right?
Yep.
Okay.
At the start of your turn,
You gain
you
one health.
gain. Yep.
Oh yeah, he did want to help. Cool.
Your DOA card.
What?
I believe that's what it was.
Dead or
Yeah,
alive.
Dead or alive.
The
DOA.
bounty card that you played.
Okay. Let me see what I have. Nope. That's no. Hunter and Hunted.
And so this game is meant to be cooperative, and so one thing I will say is if you use the just doing my job card, both of us can discard cards to let him draw additional cards.
Who draws this card?
Each player may discard one card, and then you draw cards equal to the total number of cards that we discard.
Ah, that sounds good.
Yeah. It's good because I can help fuel you then, because I have a bit of an engine going.
Mm-hmm. Select mount.
And your ongoing cards might be dangerous for you.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play just doing.
Okay. Sivas, are there any cards you would like to discard? I'm guessing not.
Uh, yeah, I'll help him get something. Just, I don't know why that launched over there, but it did. Uh, just because so far the vast majority of my overall damage is 2 or less.
Yeah.
So I'm good at AoE, so I would be perfect here if not for that body.
Yep. And you can also discard a card, Gilbert.
Ooh.
Which would allow you to draw a third one if you had a card that you just don't want.
I don't really want this right now. It's not useful as much
Yep.
as it.
It also says limited, which means you can only have one card of that name in play at a time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cards.
Now you get to
Because
draw 3.
each of us discarded.
Yep.
And you get to deal something 1 projectile damage, but the only one that would
Unfortunately,
take...
that doesn't matter.
Well, the inmate
This time.
could take damage. You could deal damage to the inmate.
Oh, that's right.
Ooh, hey, another wanted card. I mean, a bounty card.
Yep. So do you want to deal 1 damage to the inmate with your just doing my job?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so you're gonna get yet another setup with bounty next time.
Yep. And would you like to activate your power?
Let's.
Choose a non-hero target the next time you use a power. Until after the next time you use a power, all bounty cards are also affecting that one. So you could choose that on the time-crazed prisoner, and so if Sivas kills him, your dead or alive card triggers, and then you draw a card.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also be aware you take 1 damage for your 1 card that you played.
Well, that's
Stupid senses.
Yeah. So let me take 1 damage. Then I guess I'm gonna use my power on inmate over here. Actually. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Alright. And now with the use of your power, which has been fully resolved, you draw a card.
Okay. Oh, nope, that's the entire deck again.
And the turn comes to me. So I guess the thing I'll start off doing is my liquid metal. I reveal cards from the top of my deck until I get a combo and a finisher. So there's the finisher. Nope. There we go. Both of those go into my hand, and I shuffle everything else back into the deck.
Not the card that you played, though.
No. That's why that's still there.
Yeah.
How much damage take?
Now, I'm also able to sacrifice 2 HP in order to play a combo now. Alright, so I'll start off with a combo, which thanks to my combo chain, I don't take damage the first time I do this. And I play my Whispering Steel. I deal 1 target 2 irreducible melee damage. So
So
I'm going to damage the senses.
ouch, that hurts my ears.
Oh, hey, we
And
died.
then through the effect of this card, I am going to sacrifice 2 HP in order to play this card.
Note that it has an additional 1 reduction because of Rampage.
I am aware, but it's the other combo card I have to allow me to deal 3 damage to the prisoner and kill it.
Yep. So the time-crazed prisoner dies, and Gilbert, what do you get?
Oh, do you want me to draw a card now?
Well, the time-crazed prisoner died.
Ooh. Let's see.
And are you doing anything else?
And now I'm able to play a finisher. And I play my Forest of Needles finisher. This one does not cause me to take damage to play. And I deal 6 melee damage to this body over here because it has more than 8 HP. So it takes 3 damage with all the reductions.
All right. And does that end your turn?
That is the end of my turn. Actually, yeah, because I want to keep this card that I have.
Okay. Environment turn. Top card of the deck. Imprisoned Rogue. Increase the damage dealt by inmates by... At the start of the environment turn, destroy the agent with the highest HP. Currently it does nothing, but it could be dangerous in the future. Now we go to the boss turn. Rampage is finished. The boss says... Thresher Claw. When this arm enters play, destroy all other arm cards except for one with the highest HP. So basically...
We get to pick which one we get rid of.
Right.
Because they both have 7.
Yep. Which one do you guys think we should get rid of? I say we should
say the Knuckle Dragger. Honestly.
Yeah.
The sad thing is that's going to get rid of the bounty, but I do agree it's probably the Knuckle.
I mean, it may stop his healing for now, but he has cards that can get it back from his discard.
Yeah, I do.
So,
okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
plus
just
this
my-
one deals a lot more damage than the other one. So, Gilbert, go ahead and draw a card. Claim your bounty, sir.
And then we go through the end of the villain turn. We start with Bone Cleaver, which tries to attack my Starlight of Acheron, which says, hey, bub, no. Heightened Senses does nothing. Thresher Claw tries to deal the one hero with the highest
Hold
HP,
on.
3
I
toxic.
played 4 cards last turn. I need to lose 4 HP.
That hurts.
Damn those senses.
Yeah, that hurts. I don't know how...
Well, I don't have the highest HP, so I'm not taking 3 toxic damage.
Correct. That is Gilbert. So Gilbert, you take 3 damage.
Because you have the most HP. Oh. Oh, that arm did not go to the discard either.
Right, it goes underneath him.
Yep.
2 more and he transforms. It's one way to force it to not do that. So Gilbert takes 3 damage.
It only needs one more. It needs H or more, and H is 3.
Oh yeah. So let's see if it's gonna flip. Well, Bone
It
Cleaver
does. Also, everybody, we'll be back in a minute to see what happens with this.
Okay. Will I still have my hand?
Alright, everybody, we're back. And yes, everything's still set up in your hand. You just have to reselect your color.
Yep.
So what happened?
So,
We flipped
yeah.
over Anathema, which says head and arm cards are indestructible during the villain turn. And then we put all head and arms back into play. It's still the end step of the villain turn, so these head and arms that came out also get to attack and do their effects.
Yep.
Because they're indestructible, they don't destroy one another when they show up. So let's start. So let's start by resolving the head that makes him play an additional card, because there's a card in his deck that when it enters play will reflip his card and potentially stop him from using these other card effects.
Yeah.
We won't know unless it plays. And
Nope.
that's a heavy carapace, which bodies
Destroys the other heavy
are not.
carapace.
Bodies are not indestructible during his turn right now. Knuckle
Basically,
Dragger.
he just healed 3 HP on it.
Yep. Bone Cleaver tries to attack my Night Starlight of Acheron, which does not. Knuckle Dragger deals 4 damage to Gilbert.
Yep.
So, Gilbert, can you go in and take 4 health away from yourself?
And he's muted currently, which means he had to walk away from the table.
Yep. So you're taking 4 damage.
Right. 4 damage.
Stupid Knuckle Dragger's back. Because of when he flipped.
I think we're gonna die here. There's like my ultimate prediction about this.
Well, it's quite possible if that happens. It's not uncommon to lose in this.
Yeah, I mean, when we played yesterday, we lost. Actually, we played 4 games because we lost 2 and we won 2.
Yeah. And we did get a bit unlucky with some of the cards that he played. Like, Heavy Carapace is a card that's difficult to get around, and we didn't kill anything before it came up, and so we couldn't kill it. And that happens.
Yeah. Well, that's it for the villain turn, because the other Bone Cleaver is going to deal no damage, just like the first one.
Yep.
Second verse, same as the first. Let's move on.
And then it's my turn. And my characters all gain 1 HP. I have to destroy one of the constellations I have. I'm trying to figure out.
I have a feeling I'm going to end up committing suicide here in the very near future.
I have a
Quite
feeling we're
possible.
all gonna die somewhere here in the near future.
Well, I'm going to play Exodus to search my deck for... I think I have another constellation. I do. That way I can put that into play, and the pings from the sonic senses are going to my guy that is reducing the damage.
Yeah.
And this ancient constellation is going to get put next to Sivus. Because I can play it next to anyone.
Okay. Don't know why you're doing that, but okay.
And the card I'm going to play off of that effect is this Celestial Aura, which says whenever I would deal damage to a hero target next to a constellation, instead they heal that much health.
Ah.
So I'm trying to start recovering you back up. And for my power phase, I'm going to activate my Celestial Aura to deal 1 damage to you, Sivus, which becomes 1 healing, and draw a card. And then I will
All
end my
power effects. You get a card, and it goes over to Gilbert, who
Yep.
has so many cards. Unfortunately, though, most of them can't
First,
damage these things due to that stupid carapace. So first you get to play a card.
well, first I'd like to play this onto this thing right here.
Okay.
Actually, I would recommend you sitting that on something else, because this thing's gonna die on my turn, and you don't want that bounty to disappear immediately.
Unless he wants the 3 cards.
That was what I was aiming.
Well, yeah, but his power allows him to activate that ability on something else.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So, like, you might want to put that on, like, the Horrific Carapace that's, like, not gonna go anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. That's a good play.
Okay.
And then with your power, you're able to target that onto the Enhanced Senses, which I'll kill come my turn.
Also, you do take a damage for playing a card.
So I'd like to play both of these.
So you can
You're
only play
only-
1 card per turn.
Yeah.
And
That's
you're
the big problem with a lot of heroes, is that they don't have multiple turn play cards, and it's like the big flaw of this one, to where, like, if I don't get certain cards on the field instantly, I'm not getting anything.
Oh, okay. So then I could only play that bounty.
Yeah, and then you get to use your power.
So then I use the power on Enhanced Senses.
Then you get to draw a card.
Yep. Let's see what
I was about to pick on you. Only a card and not the deck, Gilbert. Now it's my turn. And with the Guard Breaker, I kill the Enhanced Senses, since it has under 3 HP.
Yep. And that one is gone.
Gilbert draws
for
3
good.
cards. Due to the effects of his bounty.
Yep, so Gilbert, 3 more cards from your deck.
To your hand. And as much as I wanted to play this, I think at this point I need to activate my ability to discard and draw 2 cards.
Huh. Well, that's a card that heals you.
Yeah, didn't expect to see that. Well, at the end of my turn I draw a card. Oh hey, I got it back. It was worth discarding it.
Yeah. And now comes the environment turn. Start
Oh,
of
I
the
also
environment
take a
turn.
damage for playing a card.
Yeah. The environment turn. Start of the environment turn. Nothing happens. We reveal Block Guard. At the end of the environment turn, this deals the non-ancient target with the lowest HP H-2 lightning damage. And then that one can't deal damage. Amusingly enough, that one would try to hit the imprisoned rogue. Or that's going to hit the imprisoned rogue for 1 damage. Or actually, it's going to try and hit the reflex booster for 1 damage, and that's going to get reduced to nothing. Because that is the one with the lowest HP at 5.
Yep. So,
And
guard tried to help.
true, he did. He's going to die on the next turn because of the imprisoned rogue. But he tried. Start of the villain turn.
The environment tried to help us.
True. Start of the villain turn. What do they find? Doppelganger Strike. The hero target with the highest HP deals the hero target with the lowest HP X toxic damage, where X is the number of villain targets in play. Oh god.
Wait, so
Okay,
1, 2, 3,
so
6 damage.
So you try to deal 6 damage to my Starlight of Acheron, which is reduced by
wait,
2.
what? No, the hero character with the lowest HP. With the highest HP deals the lowest HP, 6 toxic damage, yeah.
Yeah. So you try to deal the Starlight of Acheron 6, which is reduced by 2 to 4. Ow. Not fun.
For a second there, I was thinking I had the lowest HP.
And that forces me to discard a card, which is also, ow, not fun.
I suppose
And then we
that's like almost the entire deck. Oh,
and then we play the top card of the deck again, because it says play the top card. Biofeedback. Whenever Anathema deals damage to a hero target, he regains 1 HP. Whenever an arm, body, or head is destroyed by a hero target, Anathema deals himself 2 psychic damage. So that's theoretically not the worst. And now time to go through the attacks. The Bone Cleaver does nothing to Starlight of Ash.
And both bone cleavers do nothing. Hold up, let's play the reflex booster first.
True. Reflex Booster. Explosive Transformation.
There it is.
So, when that enters play, flip him back. So we flip him back. He deals
Basically,
each
he resets back to normal.
Yes. Which is probably good for us. So now all of these cards and their effects don't happen. We each take 1 damage.
Yep.
Which is honestly good for us. We reveal until we get an arm, a body.
Great, of all the heads to come back. These stupid senses are back, which get rid of this.
So
Bodies here, which gets rid of this.
So hold up, because whenever Anathema destroys an arm or head card, put that card underneath his villain. The body is gone.
Yeah.
And these arms do go away. I think we'll leave the other Bone Cleaver, as it's the least troublesome.
And that's an arm that'll go underneath him, though.
All of these arms are going to go underneath him.
Oh, Gilbert, you get to draw 3 cards.
Oh, cool. Let me just do that. Not that I needed more cards.
The remaining cards go back into the deck, which is just these 2.
Okay.
But notably, he did
Are we supposed to
destroy.
shuffle the deck too?
Those 2 are supposed to get shuffled in, yes.
Okay.
But he did destroy 5 of his body parts, which causes biofeedback to deal himself 10 damage. Which isn't bad.
So, in a sense, the main way to defeat him is just to outlive him.
Seems that way.
Especially since he reflips.
Yeah. Until we explosive transformation again.
He reflips and all that shit comes right back out here.
Yep. Well, that's going to happen.
This is all still part of the end turn, and all this shit went under him during it,
Yep.
which means still during the end of the villain turn, we flip him.
Yep.
All this shit comes back.
Yep. But the body does not, which is relevant, because that body was a problem.
Yes. Which means technically all this stuff activates again.
Yeah.
Which means we're going to start with that head. We might
Again.
just be able to let him chain kill himself.
Nope. This whip tendril replaces... Oh, actually, it does not replace the whip tendril. And that's probably the worst one for us right now. So, everyone takes 4 damage.
Nice.
In groups of 2.
And group 2?
Yeah, so if you have
Yes,
something that's
this is-
reducing damage... who has the most
Oh,
HP?
He also heals back 6 HP.
Well, I think I had the most HP because I have 15.
No, he doesn't heal back 6. He heals back 10. Because he hits multiple of my Asherons.
Oh, yeah.
Knuckle Dragger. So who has the most HP?
That's Gilbert currently.
Gilbert, did you take the 4 damage already?
No. Let me do that. 11 health. I still.
Yep.
Then I'll
think
just
the
go
most.
ahead and take the 1 damage from his arm.
me?
Because I have 7, just like your lowest of your people.
The Thresher Claw?
Yeah. It deals the lowest one. Oh, wait, no. That specific one reduces damage by 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, let me do it on mine.
Wait, why'd you just reduce that when the Thresher Claw deals 1 damage? If they
Thresher
reduce
Claw
it by 2.
No, so the Thresher Claw
H
deals...
minus 2 to the highest.
No, H minus 2 hero.
Oh, yeah. With the
Oh.
highest HP, 3 toxic damage.
Oh, so then
Which
that's...
means currently that's Gilbert taking 3 more damage.
So Gilbert, you're taking 4 damage.
Okay. Again?
You're taking... Yeah, 4 damage, and then my Cold Asheron is taking... Because the 4 from the Bludgeoning Knuckle Drag...
Who pressed the button?
I don't press a button, I put a bag in there. It belongs in it.
So, you took the 4 from the Knuckle Dragger, which heals him for 4, back up to 70 at max. I took the 3 for the Claw. That way I didn't have to blow up any of my ongoing things, which are going to be useful. And then we go to my turn. As we cry,
So now we just lost.
Not yet. There are ways to come back potentially. So all my characters gain a life. I'm going to
I
blow
think he
up
was talking about the
this
thing for the
ancient
cannon.
constellation. Maybe. I'm going to play Nightlore Armor, which says whenever damage would be dealt to another hero target, you may destroy a constellation card in play to prevent that damage. And
That's
then I'm going
always
to
nice, but
yeah,
it's not the best.
I need to do something. And I'm going to activate my Starlight of Kryos 4 to bring back 2 constellations, taking
And
2
2
damage on her.
lost.
And these constellations, one's going to go on my Starlight of Terra, and one's going to go on Starlight of Kryos. So instead of taking 2 damage, she heals 2 because of my Celestial Aura. It also lets me draw a card. Okay, I'm trying to tank up. Please kill the thing.
I have no way to. At most, I can deal 3 damage right now.
Your turn, Gilbert.
Okay, can you just tell me story?
Can I just call
Gilbert,
you what?
you can deal mass damage. He no longer has a body that reduces damage.
What? Well, I was going to play this thing here and deal damage to like this head, the enhanced.
Okay, first though, you have a specific card in your hand.
Wait, what do you mean? What specific card?
This one. You can play this one. You deal 1 target, 1 projectile damage, and then you draw a card and you can play a card. So you play this one first, you draw a card. And then you're able to play another card. So check to see if you have another one of them.
Oh, wait. No, I don't think I do.
Okay, well now you play that one. It's where you deal 3 targets, 1 energy damage each, and you may destroy 1 ongoing or environment card. So you can actually kill this imprisoned rogue to save our our block guard friend over here trying to help us.
Well, I think I was going to do that. So,
Yeah.
Move over here. Then
So
I do.
you do take some damage from the sonic senses.
From the enhanced senses, yes.
But now you deal 3 targets 1 damage and 1 target 1 damage.
3 targets, 1 damage. Oh yeah.
And then 1
So
target 1 damage.
No. It's
Yes,
up to
the first
target.
card you played is also
Yeah.
you may deal 1 target 1 projectile damage.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to do 2 damage to the enhanced senses. 1 from like the original card I played, then 1 from the second card I played.
Okay, which other 2 body parts are you going to deal damage to?
I'm going to do 1 damage to the whip tendril.
Alright.
And then 1 more damage to Knuckle Dragger.
Alright. And since you don't have any bounties out there, your power does nothing this turn. Sad face. This means you get to draw a card.
Oh, yep. Draw a card.
And then it comes over to me. Well, let's get rid of that head.
Oh,
One
really?
target, 3 projectile damage.
Nice. That's good.
That's one
Teamwork.
less problem.
I still take a damage though, because I played before I...
Yep.
I draw a card and... That's my turn.
All right. Start of the environment turn. Nothing happens. Play phase of the environment turn. Well, there's a rogue again.
That sucks.
End phase of the environment turn. Non-agent with the lowest HP, H-2 lightning damage.
Which currently I believe is this, nope, that's, 6.
That's a 4. Oh, why is it 4 instead of 6?
That's what I'm wondering. It only took 1 damage. Well, then that would be this head
Yeah.
at 4, which is below all of us still.
And it can't deal damage until the next environment turn.
Unfortunately, it doesn't deal damage anyway.
So if we had killed this head instead of the other head, it only takes 1.
Oh, yeah. X
H
minus 2.
2.
Yeah.
So if we had killed this head instead of the other one would have been dealing no damage.
Eh. Oh well. We didn't coordinate with the police. We didn't coordinate with our officer friend.
Nope.
Just with each other.
Now it's the environment turn.
Well, villain turn.
Villain turn. Thresher Claw.
Let's use
Part
the
2.
head ability first. Maybe it all dies.
Nope. Stuff of Nightmares. Whenever a villain target enters play, that target deals the hero target with the second lowest HP 2 psychic damage. That's probably going to kill us.
Well, I don't know if we're going to survive this round.
Yeah, because Bone Cleaver is going to deal 1 damage to Gilbert.
Okay.
Gilbert has the lowest HP of us?
Yep.
Oh, shit. He's dead by both bone cleavers then.
Right, but I'm ordering this so that he takes both Bone Cleavers and the Whip Tendril before he goes. To try and save us some life and damage. So you're taking 2 damage from Bone Cleavers, and then Whip Tendril. Oh, wait.
Stupid whip tendrils deals 2 damage to each hero target. So all
Yeah.
of us take 2 damage from it.
Yeah, we're also all dead because of Razor Scales that should have been dealing us damage.
No, only when we
first.
first target it, yeah. So I would have taken 2 damage, and so would have Gilbert.
And then everything comes through and wipes me up.
So do I die or not?
We all die.
Yeah. It's fine. We didn't win this time, people. Maybe next time we'll get them. But until next time, This was Tabletop Simulator, and we're out.